Hello, friends and family. Tuesday Night Live. I'm flying solo here for a few minutes until Michael can join me. We both had softball games tonight. Well, not us, but our kids. So, anyway, if you're here, whew, man, I've been rushing to this. I've been rushing to this screen tonight. But we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. We want to know who's here, who's watching, where you're watching from. We'd love for you to share this with your friends, your family, your colleagues, your cousins, your girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever. So let's see who's with us here. Let me turn it on the old phone. Man, am I the only one that's going to say I'm glad turkey season's over? Am I the only one saying that right now? I just feel like there's so much pressure. Whew. Brother Jimmy Carroll is here. First comment of the night. Jimmy wins the prize of first commenter of the night. Thanks, Jimmy. Glad you're here, my friend. Gordy's here. James Evan is here. Howdy is here. Who's Howdy? Is that Barrett? Is that? It's not Eddie. Is it W.O.? Glad you're here, fellas. Got to brag my little softball team. My girl is playing softball. I'm the coach. We won 9-2 tonight. We won 8-0 last game. So this is a good start to the year. We lost the first game though. Tina, glad you're here. You gotta add your name, Tina, if you're watching from the group that says Facebook user. Best opening day of turkey season I've ever had. It was the second best turkey season Kentucky's ever had. I'm just glad it's over, man. I'm just being completely honest. Mike's going to disagree. I'm just glad it's over. Just kind of tired of it, you know? Yeah, I only hunted twice. Didn't kill a turkey. Didn't really care. I want to go fishing. I have a guy coming this week, hopefully, to come work on my boat. I want to go fishing. Jimmy says, now on to pre-deer season. Yes, Jimmy, that's what I'm ready for. I got to say, the people I've talked to have told me that this baiting ban until August is the best thing for our animals. And I believe them. But, man, I would love to start putting out some feeders on places I'm going to hunt in Harlan and other places in Kentucky and just see what's there. So I'm a little, it is always, Jimmy, deer season never stops, man. It just never stops. Gordy has 2 weeks left of turkey season in Ohio. Congrats, Coach. Thanks, Jimmy. Now, I will say, we've played 3 games. We're 2-1. The first game, my girls were nervous. They were scared. They were afraid. They're young and inexperienced. And the other team was really good. We lost, I think, 8-1. Didn't play well. Been coaching them hard. Last 2 games, we've won 8-0 and 9-2, and they've gotten a lot better. So I'm proud of that. Cole Warden, all the way from New York, he has been crushing turkeys in New York, fellas. I'm just telling you. A couple weeks left in New York. Can't wish it away yet. No, Cole, I'm just kind of – here's the thing. I get bored easily. That's why I'm not a great hunter, because I can't sit in the same spot for a long time. And I want to start talking about some other stuff. I want to talk about something other than turkey. What we really need to talk about tonight is this elk, this Kentucky Elk and Outdoor Fest that we're going to be at this week. And I've got an announcement. Actually, I've got a personal announcement of something that's really cool that I think you guys might not care, but I think it's really cool coming up. And I can't wait to share the news. And I'll tell you that here in a little bit. Something really cool that I get to do that I'm just pumped about. I'm just really psyched about it. And I got to tell you guys, I got to share it with my best friends here, but I can't do it right now. I got to wait a little while longer in this live. Josh says, sounds like my nieces play baseball like Uncle Josh. They do, Josh. Ella struck out tonight. So, yes, you're right. She plays just like you. She went 0 for 1 and struck out. So, there you go. My girl was the only one that didn't get a hit, I think. I think we had 2 kids not get a hit, and my daughter was one of them. But that's okay. I'll tell you what happened is she had a little friend that came to the game to watch her, and she kept looking at her friend. I'm like, Ellis, if you don't get over here and pay attention, I'm going to make you go sit out. So, caution, I was walking in my yard. Jimmy wrote that like he's from Scotland. I was walking in my yard and found a tick on my shin. Please use caution and permethrin. You know what, Jimmy? My youngest daughter, has been out there rolling around in the grass at the softball field, and she's terrified of ticks. I'm just waiting on her to get one. So, yeah, a couple of weeks left of turkey season in some other states. Some states go all the way to June, and Kentucky just wrapped up almost 36,000 turkeys. Now, here's the thing, guys. Let me just ask your opinion. A lot of folks have complained the last few years that, hey, turkeys are gone. Turkeys are not like they used to be. This is not like it was 10 years ago. Last year, we had a down year, 26,000. I told you, turkeys are gone. We got to do something. We need to cut the season down to one turkey per hunter. We need to raise the non-resident tax, which I actually think we do need to do that. We need to stop non-resident hunters, some people said. We need to do this. We need to do that. Kentucky's going to blow this turkey hunting season. And we come in with the second best season ever. Can you just say, well, there's more hunters, there's more time spent in the woods, or maybe we just have a good turkey hunting state? Can you deny that with 35, almost 36,000 birds? Now, if we just had 30, you could say, well, see, it's still not quite there. 36,000 almost? I just don't think you can deny that we had a heck of a season. I don't think you can deny that we've had some good hatches. Compared to other states, we've had excellent hatches. That's what I think. It's the cicadas. Here's the thing, Gordy. Maybe northern Kentucky is the cicadas, but we didn't get a big cicada hatch all over the state. We will next year, but we didn't get that all over the state. That was mostly northern Kentucky. And if you look at our post from last night, let me find it here. Can't find my own page. If you look at our post from last night, I'd listed the top 5 counties. There it is. The top 5 counties were Ohio County. That's not northern Kentucky. That's western Kentucky. They didn't get cicadas like that. Pulaski County is southeast Kentucky. They didn't get cicadas. Graves County. Where's Graves County? Is Graves County up there? I got to check now. Breckenridge and Hart. Maybe some of those did, but most of our top producing counties weren't up there. Graves is a northern Kentucky county. Okay. Rick says he agrees with me. Thanks, Rick. I just don't think you can deny that. Now, southern Ohio, southern Indiana, northern Kentucky got the cicada hatch. You're going to see probably a increase there, but not for the rest of the county. Let me just say this. If you live in Kentucky, or if you want to move to Kentucky, or if you're in Kentucky and you want to move somewhere else, you should, and you're a hunter and an angler, you should move to Pulaski County, Kentucky. Their deer hunting is great. Their turkey hunting is great. Their bass fishing and all kinds of fishing is great. You're right there on Lake Cumberland. You're minutes away from Del Hollow. You have some of the best deer hunting, turkey hunting in the state of Kentucky. If I ever move again, and I plan on staying where I'm at for a long time, but if I ever move again, I will be moving to Pulaski County. Down there with my buddy Curly Combs. I'll have to take care of him when he's an old man. Somebody's going to have to take care of him. He's a grandpa now, actually. So congratulations, Hurley. He's a grandpa now. So most states are going to have bad years and good years. It's when you have several bad in a row when things need to change. Exactly. We talked to the greatest turkey hunter to ever live in the state of Kentucky, Harold Knight, and he said, look, guys, it's like this. It's up and down. It's up and down. And that's how it's always going to be. But we crushed it this year. We crushed it. And that's undeniable. So complain. Come at me with your opinions. That's fine. It's okay to be wrong. It was a great year. Let's see. Jimmy said it was due to Russian collusion. There's a lot of maybe some Russian collusion throughout the state, if Kelly Craft wins, I think it's just kidding. You know what? 2 weeks ago, we were supposed to have Ryan Quarles on. If you're in Kentucky and, Andy Beshear's the governor, we have the Republican primary coming up. You have Kelly Craft, Ryan Quarles, some guy from Northern Kentucky, some guy from Somerset. But Ryan Quarles was going to come on the show. We have some mutual friends. And I think that was the same night that he was booked to do the KET um, the KET debate. But he's a great sportsman. And if you are a sportsman and you want to vote for a sportsman, I'm suggesting Ryan Quarles. So that's all I'm saying. I think it's next Tuesday. If you want to vote for a sportsman, vote for Ryan Quarles. I think he would have ultimately the best interest for our resources in mind. And I was hoping to have him on so he could illustrate that and talk about that and talk about his background as a farmer and a hunter and a fisherman, but it just didn't work out. So anyway, that's my endorsement. I'm voting for Ryan Quarles. I think he's the best vote. I know people don't like politics, but I just really want a governor that's going to that's also a sportsman and going to take care of our resources. A lot of people love Andy Bashir. If you vote for him, by all means do that. But I like Ryan Quarles. So there you go. If you're in the woods putting food on the table, some years are better than others, but it's never a bad year. It don't matter. Deer, turkey, elk, squirrel, whatever. Yeah, just get in the woods. I agree. We killed more turkeys than Harlan's We killed more than Harlan's population in turkeys. I think they're still here. I think so too. I think Harlan only has like 18,000 people, so we almost doubled it. Excuse me. We killed a lot. We killed a lot. You know what? That's funny because I'm from Harlan, and as our page was growing, I just imagined our page in like different settings. So, Harlan, when our page grew past like 18,000, I remember like telling somebody like, man, we have more followers than Harlan County has people. And then when it got like 24, 25,000, I said, if we took all of our followers, we would fill Rupp Arena to capacity. And now we're at 65,000. So that's like a football stadium. That's like Commonwealth, Kroger Field. We could fill that up if every one of our followers went there. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Menifee didn't come in last. I noticed that. What did they come in? Let's see. Fayette County was last. Fayette County has turkeys, mostly access there. Owsley County, Woodford County, Bourbon County. Boy, I know Woodford County has turkeys. All these horse farms and stuff. You just can't get access. There's no public land there either. So, yeah, that's where we are. Michael's supposed to be on here. I don't know where he's at now. That's great, John. Thanks, Gordy. I appreciate that, man. All right, do you guys want to know the big announcement? You want to know? I tell you what. Guess the big announcement. There's something that I have been asked to do coming up soon. I don't know if that's too vague. Anyway, I have been asked to do something that is, I think, very cool. It's a huge honor for me. Any guesses? It's crazy. Just take a wild guess. Just a crazy guess of what I've been asked to do. It has to do with the outdoors, and it has to do with Kentucky, actually. So take a big guess. Your wildest imaginations. Some people may think it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal, but I just think it's really cool. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I probably gave too much of a hint. Yeah, that's it. You guys are right. I can't fool you guys. So I got a call from Patrick Hayden of the Kentucky Gun Company. He said, hey, would you want to read the names for the Kentucky Elk Draw? And I was like, yeah. So I think I'm going to be one of three people. And I think I'm going to call the archery and crossbow names, which is like 175 names. So I'll be calling them. And I'm telling you, first of all, if I'm on that list, it's going to turn into a party on the stage. It's going to turn into the NFL draft. I'm going to announce my height, my weight, where I'm from, all the way from Harlan County. You're going to know it. They'll never invite me back. But if one of you guys are on that list, I'm going to be, I won't say equally as excited, but it's going to be right there. So I'm really hoping. I mean, surely I have 175 names. I know somebody. So me, my brother, Mike, any of you guys, I'm going to absolutely just shout you out. So I'm very excited. The other two people doing it is Kevin Murphy. He runs Game Nation. If you watch Meat Eater with Steve Ranella, he's on there sometimes. He's from Paducah. And then the third guy is going to be Tim Farmer, which everybody knows Tim Farmer. Tim Farmer is used to do Kentucky Afield. He does his cooking show. He has now he has like a club down Lexington where he has live music. So not a club, like a bar or a restaurant or pub or something. So anyway, it's pretty cool. I told Patrick, I said, man, when you say Kevin Murphy and Tim Farmer, like I feel like I'm not even in the same world as those guys as far as sportsmen and what they've done, but I'll take it. So I'm very honored. And it's going to be fun. I can't wait. And I'm not going to say Mark Lilly, Grace County, Kentucky. Like I'm gonna say, I'm gonna pump it up a little. And I use Mark because he's definitely only way Mark's name's in there is if it's fixed. So let's say you're getting bull firearm, so you're not calling your name. Done got it fixed. Thanks, Mark. Mark's already let him know. Don't give me bull firearm. So they said, "Are you ready to rumble?" Yeah, I talked to my brother yesterday. I was like, "What should I say?" Like, are you ready to run, or let's get ready to rumble, or are you ready? Something like I got to bring a little bit of excitement. Tim Farmer's an entertainer, so I'm sure he'll be a little exciting. Kevin Murphy is just a unique person, so I don't know how he's going to do it. I know Kevin Murphy. If you've ever has anybody watched Kevin Murphy on Meat Eater? Let me know if you watched him before. If not, you need to go watch him. This is your brother, haha. Oh, you're in the Facebook group now? He's such a loser, guys. He doesn't even know how to work his Facebook page. Does anybody know who Kevin Murphy is? I just want to know because he's kicking it off. Kevin Murphy is, and if you know Kevin, Steve Ranella on Meat Eater calls Kevin the greatest small game hunter in the world, right? And Kevin is fantastic. He's one of the smartest people I've ever been around. I met him during COVID. I drove out to his house. We sat around. He used to run the water plant in Paducah, and he gave me like a crash course on epidemiology, I think is how you say it, like on diseases and how they spread. And he was not a COVID conspiracy theorist at all. Like he was. Oh, sorry, I got a text. He, you're not gonna catch that guy like following all the rules and regulations because he's a smart dude, but he's going to kick off the elk draw when he goes squirrel hunting. He has a horn, like a ram's horn, and he blows into that horn to let the squirrels know he's coming, because if not, it's too easy. And so he's going to kick off the elk draw by blowing that horn and then start reading those names. And yeah, so anyway, that's cool. James says, definitely his story on Meat Eater getting sick from eating that bear meat was nuts. Yeah, a lot of them got sick for that bear meat. They got trichinosis. Make sure if you kill a bear, you cook it all the way through. Brandon Kierlieber says, Josh doesn't know anything. Don't listen to him. I don't, Brandon. If you know me, I don't listen to him. He doesn't listen to me either. But yeah, I'm going to announce the 175 names at the elk draw. Very excited. And I hope that some of you are on there. And I hope that I am too. So that'll be fun. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, but guys, seriously, if you can't make it to Barstown, and if you have any extra money, put $80 toward a big bull ticket for this draw, because they're drawing 200 prizes, including 2 elk hunts. Kevin James Energy. Yeah, I don't know. You have a better comparison than that? Kevin James. Paul Blart. I love Kevin James on King of Queens. Come on, I got to have a better comp than that, though. Anyway, kind of offended. So, all right, I guess Mike's not showing up. What do you guys, anything? What's happening in your all's lives? Like we're going, Mike had a lot to talk about with the turkey hunting, and I'm just kind of tired of it. Come on. Seriously, Alan? Alan, are you trying to get kicked off of here, Chris Farley? If I was funny, then I would take Chris Farley. I'm just anyway. Josh says, with the 400th pick of the Kentucky Elk draft. Yeah, that's it. Terrible Hunter. I don't know. You guys, I mean, look, I'm not going to take this anymore. Either give me some guys that are in good shape and handsome for my movie star comparisons, and quit calling me a terrible hunter, or we're done here. Getting to bow out is what everyone should be doing. Oh, sorry. I thought you said getting to bow out. Getting the bow out is what everyone should be doing. Kyle, I hope that I announce my name as an archery winner, either sex elk on Saturday, and then me and you just go up there and we start shooting the bows, man. Start shooting the bows. Let's see. Cole said he did a walleye charter on Lake Ontario today. Had to take the morning off chasing birds. Work getting in the way. Yeah. Cole, where do you launch out of? Lake Ontario. Is that Cole? Give me a geography lesson. So Lake Erie is like Buffalo. Is Lake Ontario north of that? Is that what you're doing? Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. That's a good one. That's a good one. What do they say at the Derby on Saturday? Riders up. There you go. Bring that stone cold energy. Yeah, I can take two Coors Light and smash them together. I don't want to drink them because that tastes nasty. But throw it out in the crowd. I don't know. Henderson Harbor, eastern part of Lake Ontario, which is north of Erie. Cole, I would love to come up there and do that with you sometime. I won't say that I ever will be able to, but I would love to. If I made the time for it, I could. A good walleye trip, that'd be good. Does anybody do walleye fishing around? Mark said he figured me for a Bud Light man. Now, Mark, that's better. You know that's not true. I even made a post that we're not drinking Bud Light at my turkey camp. I even made that post. Bud Light, come on. Let me tell you something. No, Cole, here's the thing. I want to go walleye fishing. We have some good walleye fisheries around here. Heck, I live near the Kentucky River. Great walleye fishery for some people. I just don't really know how to fish for them other than like little shad wraps and things. I don't know. I need your advice, Cole. Anybody else catching walleye? How's it going for you? Maybe little white plastic grubs? I don't know. Who else is getting food plots in? That's a great question. Sam Kinison, that crazy stand-up comedian? That guy was nuts, man. Now, I do like some stand-up comedy. I watch it a lot, actually. It has to be good, but I watch quite a bit of it throughout the week, honestly. Sam Kinison's crazy. Wasn't he like a former preacher turned crazy man? Lake Erie's on fire, no doubt. I'd like to get up there. I won't be able to this year, but I'd like to. Cole, how we catching walleye? Now, if you ask Mike how to catch a walleye, he'll say throw out hot dogs. That's the only thing Mike fishes with was hot dogs. But I don't like that. I like some artificial bait. Now, if I have to throw out some, I will. Mark's got a couple acres of sunflowers out. He'll be hitting those for dove in early September, no doubt. Cole says, come on up. Lots of fish out there on the lake. I know. What kind of boat you riding, Cole? You got a big like center console. Nice boat. No food plots till May is over. No, listen. Alan is adamant about this. I'm going to call him Adamant Alan Morris. You saw Mike made a post last week, I think, about no mow May, which is, I thought he meant no more May, but no mow May. And he's saying don't mow your fields in May because you're killing turkey eggs, maybe killing fawns. I don't know. What's y'all's take on that? Here's my take on mowing. We want farmers to hold off on mowing. We also want farmers to make a living. So if it's a hindrance to your paycheck, mow. But if you don't have to, don't mow. Hold off till June or July. This guy says he caught several, guy or gal, caught several walleye by accident fishing the rivers for smallies in Harlan and Bell counties on cranks and spinnerbaits. There you go. That's the way to do it. Would a food plot be covered in this? No, food plots are totally okay. That's a natural growth. It's not considered baiting. Plant all the food plots you want. If you're going to do that, I would recommend Antler Builder seed. I don't know what it's called. Seed mix. Frost seeded some clover, but I'm holding off on others till after Mother's Day. Is Mother's Day this Sunday? Farmers have to do what they do. If I ain't helping, then I'm hurting, I think he said. Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. Alan, did you see we in Kentucky almost 36 turkeys killed? What do you think about that, Alan? That's 9,000 more than we killed last year. How's that comparing to Missouri at this point? This Sunday is Mother's Day. Okay, I'm glad y'all said that. I had no idea. Yeah. Yeah, and it was a great season for Kentucky. And I know Missouri was like 8,000 below last year. So where are they this year? Do you know? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Farmers have to do what they do. So I threw out a couple of bags of corn, but the deer eat it before it grows. When I first read the first thing, I threw out a couple of bags of corn. I'm like, oh, Mark, delete that comment. Here's what Alan Morse says. Knock me over with a feather. Spring turkey hunting weather likely contributed to this year's highest harvest total. Quote, the 2023 harvest was 23% higher compared to 2022. It was 19% higher than the average over the previous years. Forgot to mention, they are the historically worst 6 years of harvest in Missouri history of 26 seasons. I guess when you're near in the bottom, the only place to go is up. So, Alan, that's actually like somebody was talking earlier. You can't just take 1 year and cherry pick it, but if you have 6 years worth of data and the last 6 years have been your worst in the last 26 years, yeah, it's probably a problem there. So for sure. But hey, if they can spin it as in, hey, we hit a bump and we're coming back up, I guess wait and see if next year is also an increase. If the next 3 to 4 years are increases, then okay, you're good. If not, where we headed, right? Cole said, I was on the phone with the boss, missed your question about walleye. Cole, I just want to know how you catch them. What do you do to catch them? I know you're probably using planer boards and all that. But if I'm just going to a fishery that has them and I don't have the walleye set up like you do, what am I doing? Am I hitting certain structures? Am I hitting deep water? Am I using deep diving crankbaits? I said the only way I've ever caught them is on accident by like shad wraps. So what are you doing, Cole? How are we catching these on a body of water here? We got a lot less walleye. And when I say walleye in Kentucky, we have a lot of sauger, which is a hybrid walleye. We have a lot of saugai, which is a hybrid walleye sauger. And we also have a lot of sauger. So how are we catching those, Cole? Give me some insight. Jimmy says, we are shooting with crossbow starting this weekend. What distance would you set your zero at? 20 yards, 30 yards. My crossbow is 425 FPS. What do y'all think? Crossbows are crazy fast. So where are you setting your bottom pin, or I guess your top pin, all the way down? Jimmy, how'd you do it last year? Alan says, Missouri's turkey season is so fragile now that 3 days of bad weather for hunters or any weekend will destroy the harvest number. Weather plays a huge role. It really does. Gordy's first pin's at 30. Jimmy said 25. Jimmy, I've never set my pins on 5-yard increments. It's always been like, I'll tell you what, Jimmy, T-Bone had a video. I don't remember exactly how he did it, but if you'll go back through and watch some of his content, he did a video on how he sets his compound bow and how he sights it in, and he gave some really good tips. And I think it could probably work for your crossbow as well, I'm sure. So, yeah, 20 yards to 50 yards. Here's what I want to know. If you're a crossbow hunter, what is the longest shot? And let's say it's not sketchy, it's just a clean shot. What is the longest shot you would take? Jimmy just asked the same question. What distance would you consider too far? I know guys with a compound bow that 60 yards, they're not blinking. They're taking it at 60 yards. I wouldn't. 40 yards is probably my max that I'm comfortable at. If I've practiced a lot at 50, my bow is way more capable. My bow is very capable of killing a deer at 60 yards, as long as it's a clean shot, right? Like he's broadside. But I would have to. I'm at 50 yards, very capable at 50 yards. I would have to practice that if I was comfortable. So I usually practice to 40 with some extra shots at 50. This year I need to practice more. So hopefully me and Kyle can get together. That's a good question. Kyle, if you're still on here, what are you comfortable at? Well, Lord, now Josh is on here as Bass Fishing Live. He's been on here as three things. Josh, a Facebook user, and Bass Fishing Live. My goodness. He's like a tripolar Facebook user here. Jimmy's comfortable to 60. Jimmy, that crossbow, if you have it sighted into 60, I wouldn't think twice, brother. If Mike was on here, he would tell you 30 and under. And he would say, hey, when I shoot to kill. That's his preference. But Jimmy, if you are comfortable at 60, let it fly. I think you're not current, but what am I looking at? What word am I looking for? Not current, but I guess current technology in compound bows and crossbows are so good that you can take a 60-yard shot with a crossbow. Now, I talked to the guys at 10 Point about this, and he said legally they do not tell people to take a shot over 50, but you can. So their lawyers are saying, hey, you need to tell people 50 and in. Kyle said ideally 20 to 30. Longest I would take is 50 max. That's kind of where I'm at too with a compound. I would love everything to be 20 and under, right? I mean, that's a chip shot. And even people miss at 20. I have a friend that missed at 6. Still talks about it. It's been like 4 years. He still talks about it. And, anything can happen. It can hit a limb. I mean, anything can happen, right? You're out there in the wild. It's live. You don't get a second chance. As soon as you let go, you can't reach out and grab that arrow. So, yeah, I think crossbow for sure. Compound bow, 30 and in is ideal. But if you've practiced to 50, then I think that's good. And I'm sure I know Kyle does. He probably practices beyond that. But it's all about your practice. Like if you sight your bow in at 30 and you just have that last pin and you're saying it's at 40 and you don't practice on that last pin at 40, you shouldn't be shooting with it. You should shoot at what you practice at. So that's the first thing. Mark says depends on the cross. Oh, that's the wrong one. Depends on the crossbow. That's true. That 10-point Wicked Ridge that we have, 50 is a chip shot. I mean, that thing is moving, especially with that heavier grain broadhead that we use. Definitely under 30 with compound for a turkey, preferably under 20. Yeah. I had a turkey. I'm guessing this might be Barrett. I had a turkey at about 8 yards with my bow in the fall 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. Oh, there's Mikey. And I just didn't take the shot. I just didn't take. I don't know why I didn't. If I would have moved to take the shot, he may have seen me and ran, but I had him at like 8 yards, and I think I probably could have taken him, but I didn't. All right, Mike's going to come in here and tear down everything that I've said about how far you can shoot your bow. But start with practice. If you want to be comfortable to 50 yards with your crossbow, 60 yards, you need to practice that a lot. It needs to be the ideal situation, right? The deer doesn't need to be moving at 55 yards. You're like, I got it, right? It needs to be a good shot. And Mike, I was telling him, T-Bone, I don't know if you saw this, T-Bone, who I'm hoping to have on the show soon to talk about things like this. He has, he put out an excellent video about sighting in your bow and how he uses like black tape on his sight. And he doesn't start, you know how we all start with like a 10-yard pin or 20-yard? Mm-hmm. He starts out at like 40. He starts at 40 or something like that. Anyway, you need to watch. It's a great, everybody needs to go watch that. It's a great video.
Yeah.
Let's see. Definitely under 30. Oh, I already read that. Jimmy says he's comfortable to, I think, 60 with his crossbow, but it has to be a perfect opportunity. Quarter away, I'll pass. I think that's a good principle there. Barrett says, I'm guessing it's Barrett. He didn't say. All deer I've killed with a bow been less than 20. Hey, that's what we all want, right?
Yeah.
That's the goal. The farthest you've killed? Probably 30, the farthest you've killed?
For the bow, yeah. Yeah, it's about 30 yards is where I pretty much draw my own personal line.
Yeah, but that's where you practice at.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. So, yep.
Mark says with the Raven, 100 is doable. So that's what the guys that he doesn't even work at 10 Point anymore. I can't think of his name. Zach, maybe something Zabitsky, maybe. Anyway, I talked to so many people. I asked him that when he sent us a crossbow because I'd never shot one before. He was like, legally, Mike, this is what I was saying for you going legally, 50 and in is what we tell people, but they can go much farther, you know. Yeah. So, yeah, Raven, 10 Point. What are the other Barnett? I don't know what the top quality crossbows are. I know those are probably the three most popular.
Yeah, Barnett, Raven, obviously the 10 Point stuff, and
shoot, and Bear and PSE, and
yeah,
Matthews has
PSE. Those, so. Yep. Back in the day, I think Horton used to make them.
Maybe
I'm trying to think of Horton is one that's kind of sticking in my head there for a minute, but
yeah,
that's a little bit of an older brand, I think.
Yeah. Kyle says I shoot out to 70 at a target, but no way I would attempt that on deer. I'm shooting a compound, right? Yeah, and I think that's what Kyle said. Ideally 30 and under, but his max is 50, and I think if your max is 50, it's good to shoot out to 70. Because if you're shooting at 70, it makes 50 seem a lot easier.
Yeah, right? That's good practice. That's good advice.
It's like when you're on deck and you're swinging with two bats or those heavy rings on your bat, right? It makes one bat a lot easier to swing when you get up there.
Yep.
Everybody's saying hi, Mike. Good to have everybody. Good to have a killer on the show now. Hey, I'm not going to. Hey, I never lie. Mike's a much better hunter than me.
Just experience, man. Just been doing it a while.
425 feet per second equates to 289 miles per hour. Listen, the first time a person shoots a crossbow, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, whoa.
It is like that. Even when you're shooting at like a target, like when you take your first shot at a deer, it's like, when you train when you're shooting a bow and you're shooting at a bow at a deer, you can kind of watch that arrow hit that deer and kind of be like, yes, I saw where it hit.
Yeah.
You know exactly where to start looking. It kind of, but those crossbows that are shooting 400 feet per second plus,
yeah,
it's like that's through the deer. And if you don't know where you've hit that deer, like you might be in trouble. It might take you a minute to figure things out. It's that fast, so it can be a little tricky. I learned.
What is your what speed does yours shoot at?
400 feet per second.
400. I was trying to see what the one we have. I think it's.
I believe it's It's either 400 or.
Here's a 10 Point Wicked Ridge. No, that's not it. That's not a Wicked Ridge. Yeah, I think they're 400 and up. It seems like.
Yep.
Oh, excuse me. So
we have the 400 NXT.
So it's 400. The 400 means it's going to be feet per second. Yeah, they're quickly are. Cole says he practices the 60, won't shoot deer farther than 30. Cole, you never told me how to catch walleye. Did he ever tell me? Oh, here he is. Going back to walleye. I troll for them mostly on the charter boat. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I troll for them mostly on charter boat. A lot of times you can jig them up with drop shots on heavy jig heads tipped with minnows or gulp minnows. Deep crankbaits over structure too is definitely a good way to go. I hate deep crankbaits. I like shallow crankbaits. Hate deep crankbaits. I feel like I'm just cranking into the abyss.
Yeah, it's I don't know what I'm doing when I'm fishing deep. So yeah, I get that feeling.
I told him earlier. I said, now if you ask Mike how to catch walleye, he'd say use a hot dog.
Yeah, that's about what
I
I'm
don't think they like
using with those kiddos recently. But
it.
I
Walleye
tell you
tastes
what,
like bologna.
I'm trying to remember what I caught it on, frankly. I fished Carter's Lake in North Georgia several years ago in March, and I ended up hooking into a walleye, and I was told that I ended up keeping it. We cooked it and everything that night. But I was told that for Carter's Lake, it was an excellent, excellent walleye. It was like a trophy fish, essentially. I mean, it wasn't a massive fish, but apparently for that lake, it was a really nice one. So, and I'm trying to remember what I caught it on. I think it was some type of crankbait or potentially a spinner bait.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jimmy has lined me out here. He said this is hunting night. Come back Thursday for fishing. Jimmy, you're right, but at the time I was just trying to feel the content, so I had to get on something. Mike, almost 36,000 turkeys.
That is, I'll be honest, I wasn't sure that we'd get to that or get close to it, but
Not bad. I didn't think. I thought it was gonna be like 33,
yeah,
which still would have been great.
still would have been very good. I kind of thought it would be right around that 30 to 32 mark.
Yeah.
But man, we really surpassed that.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to bring it up tonight. The turkey biologist, Zach Danks, we talked to him, last year, and either that or the year before that, like the year of the cicadas. So we got to talking a lot about that, and the last time that we had a huge cicada boom, which was in like 2008, we had a record 2010, and now we're following up with a 2021 cicada hatch and a really solid season, second best since 2010. So when we talk about go ahead.
Go ahead, finish. Go ahead and finish.
I was just going to say when we talk about turkeys and cicadas, and if we know that is such a driver of their survival at that when they're hatched that year, that means 2 years later you're going to have a lot of gobblers. Do we start focusing on plants or don't spray for bugs in your crops and stuff like that? Are bugs the key to some of this? I'm kind of curious. That seems like a very simple thing. And I know we talk about predation and we talk about habitat, which is all, this is all inclusive. You have to include it all. But if the driver of having a big season like that is just bugs, I'm just fascinated. Is there something that we can do, like whether we plant a wildflower field adjacent to our clover plots or something like that? Is that something we should be doing? I'm just very curious.
Yeah, that's a little above my expertise.
Same.
The only thing I want to say about the cicada hatch, the cicada hatch happened in northern Kentucky, right? We didn't have cicadas in Frankfort, maybe here or there. I don't want to give all the credit to the cicada hatch.
Yeah,
because Ohio County, number one producing county, didn't have cicadas.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Not to my knowledge. But if you look at the cicada hatch of 2021, you still there?
Yeah, it was more southern Indiana and northern Kentucky for sure.
That's what I said. Southern Indiana, southern Ohio, northern Kentucky. I'm looking at a map here. So that was, hold on. I just don't want it to say, I don't want people to use that as, well, we can't have cicadas every year. Kentucky's still in trouble, because I just don't agree with that. I just don't agree. I think, let's see. So Brood X was 2021. If you look at a map, Brood X, it don't even show it in Kentucky. It's almost all of Indiana and southwest Ohio, and some of it did get into Kentucky. But if you look at where's this green here? Hold on. Most of Kentucky is going to get the Cicada Hatch. Come on. If this map would load. Brood. I said Brood X. That stood for 10. So Brood 14. Let's say Brood 13 is 2024. That's next year. That's going to hit Western Kentucky. Brood 18, 2025 is going to hit almost all of Kentucky. So 2027 is when we're going to have a boom. Oh no, that brood in Western Kentucky is going to be that happened in 2015. Never mind. So we still are waiting on our big cicada hatch.
Yeah,
still waiting on the big one.
I can definitely tell you they were in Northern Kentucky for sure where I was at. I was in that line because we fished with them and we had a heck of a time.
Yeah, hope everyone has a great evening. Looking forward to Thursday night. I am too, Jimmy. We're going to talk some good fishing. It is time. Turkey season's over. We're going fishing now. Yes. Right, Mike?
That's right. I'm ready to fish.
All right, there you go. Mike, I told him I'm going to be announcing names Saturday, and if I see your name, it's going to be like, weighing in at 186 pounds, standing 5'10", I don't know.
215 and 5'10".
I'm in Kenton High School. Like I'm going, I mean, it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be awesome. I just hope I just hope you don't call you. Hey, listen, I just hope you.
Kentucky is a football school. Yes.
I mean, I'd like to say they're both a school. They're both basketball and football.
They're a baseball school right now. Their baseball team's doing great.
They're playing well.
Alan, so Mike, when I was on stage, or when I was talking about being on stage, somebody compared me to Kevin James, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with like the King of Queens Kevin James, not like the mall cop Kevin James. Right?
I get it, yeah.
And then Alan compared me to Chris Farley. I wasn't okay with that. And then you probably don't know who Sam Kinison is. He's a long-haired, round as he is tall, stand-up comedian from like the 80s. Who I think eventually OD'd. But he wants me to announce it like Sam Kinison, which would get me kicked out of the venue. So Josh said he's ready. Yeah, Mall Cop. That's who. Come on. Like, I mean, I know I'm a big guy. I'm hefty. But Paul Blart? Come on. Who, Alan?
You're not a ditzy kind of guy, so that's you got
Jack
that.
Black, Jack Black is I love Jack Black.
He's awesome,
talented.
Yes, he is.
I can make songs up on the spot. I do it with my girls all the time. Sometimes they're pretty good. Sometimes I'm like, hey, that wasn't bad. But yeah, I'm not Jack Black. I like him though.
Yeah, Alan was mentioning kind of like talking about the Bugs.
Denzel Washington, okay.
Denzel.
I like Denzel, but I think if I wore blackface, I would be banned. Hey, I wasn't referring to the size on you. Hey, James, no, it's okay. Cool. Hey, James. Kevin James and I are like the same size. I'm probably a little taller than he is. He looks a little shorter. But we got the belly, bro. It's fine. I'm okay with the belly. I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable. You want me to go shirtless right now, Mike? You want me to do it?
Just do it, man.
No, I'm not gonna do that. My kids could see this one day. But it's just the right Kevin James is all I'm saying. Like, just put me in with the right Kevin James, right? The one with I don't know. You're my age, Mike. So I watched King of Queens with Kevin James. His wife on there was Stacey Carosi from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah,
that's the Kevin James I want to be, right?
Yeah, that's right. My daughter loves Saved by the Bell right now.
Dude, your daughter's awesome. I love it. Anyway, yeah, James Evans, I welcome all the comps. It's okay. 15 more years, I'd say John Madden. Maybe a lot more than that. So, Mike Allen was talking that Missouri increased their harvest this year by like 23% or 19%, something like that.
Yep.
But it's still the last 6 years have been the worst in their 26-year history.
Yeah.
Excuse me, of keeping those stats. So, Kentucky, I'm here's what I told him, Mike.
So it's almost like some folks are giving themselves participation trophies, kind of.
Well, I
Hey,
think,
we're still
yeah.
yeah. I
Well,
get
and I told
get it
Alan,
because I know it's bothered him.
oh
I think
yeah, he's
people are
worked
kind of
hard.
I think people are kind of pointing out that it's like, oh, well, our harvest rates are up and it's great and we're good now, and it's like, well, they're still kind of bad. I mean, it's better, but it's still kind of
Yeah.
not where we want it to
And
be.
listen, Alan deserves credit for all the work
Mhm.
he does with the
Yep.
research and information and making people aware. And I said, if let's say they continue to increase the next 3 years, then okay, you know. He says we are great, but we still suck until we get to 45,000 for 3 weeks. So
Yeah.
and he's kind of saying there what I'm saying here. We had people before the season started saying we need to reduce the bag limit to one turkey. We had people saying that we should shut down turkey season in parts of the state, that we should eliminate all non-resident hunters. Now, I do agree we should raise the price. I do agree with that.
Yep.
Maybe we should push that. Maybe we should push that campaign. But you cannot say that we had our second biggest harvest ever and that the turkey season sucked. You just can't say it. I
No,
don't
you
care if there
can't.
were more hunters. I don't care if there's better weather. You just can't say it sucked when we had our second best, almost very close to our best season ever.
Yeah, for sure.
You just
I
can't.
thought it was a terrific season, and I get, but we're all seeing different time
Yeah.
periods, right? I didn't start turkey. High school baseball kind of took up my time in the springtime when I was younger, so I didn't really get into turkey hunting until about 2006. I've been hunting turkeys every spring since, but it's one of those things where I missed the 90s, and as far as Kentucky's concerned, is that was kind of like the time to turkey hunt in Kentucky from what everything we've read, and just early 2000 1990s and then early 2000s like the golden years.
Yeah.
So we don't really know what that means because we weren't really hunting then as far as turkeys are concerned.
Right.
But people that are a little bit older and that have been hunting longer, they recognize that it's like, you guys are celebrating this. It's like it ain't anything close to when it was in the 90s. So
Right.
it's obviously we're seeing different things. So we think it's awesome because we thought it was a great
Well,
year.
we have more turkeys now than we did in the 90s.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think so. But
Oh, okay. I thought
basically
you were
what I
saying
mean,
the opposite.
well, early 90s and into the early 2000s, I think there was you hear a lot of people talking about, oh, I used to go out and during that time period, I used
Yeah.
to go out and hear gobbles. There was like 30 gobbles a morning.
Well,
And
that's
now
when
I
we
go
were.
out, I don't hear one. And it's like,
That's when we started really working really hard on growing that population, though.
yeah.
So it's like unpressured turkeys; they're going to gobble more.
Well, we don't have to go down this road too far because it's a whole nother
Yeah.
podcast. But, I just saw something that, I think the NWTF of Arkansas or something has looked at the decline of habitat in a certain area of I'm trying to think if it was the Ozarks or another area. But anyway, over the last like 15 years, it's changed so much that it's absolutely crushed the turkey. The reason the turkey population is hurt so bad is because that habitat change. So that's a whole nother podcast. We can get into that another time. But
I want to get to Mark's question here.
yeah,
So, Mark, I have the numbers for hunting licenses sold last year. The thing is, so many people buy the sportsman's license that we don't know who's turkey hunting, who's not.
that's tough.
But in 2022, we had 271,000 residents buy a hunting license, 42,000 non-residents for a total of 313,000. I think they estimate about 30 to 50,000 turkey hunters. If you go back, I could be wrong. If you go back and watch the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife's turkey show they did with Zach Danks, it was Kentucky Afield actually that did it.
Yep.
Zach talked about that, and I think he said 30 to 50,000, which is a big gap, but there's just no way to pinpoint that. It would take everyone doing a survey and everyone that hunted filling that out. Something interesting though, Kentucky sold 313,000 total hunting licenses. Guess how many fishing licenses they sold? Which is cheaper, but still.
Were they five? Was it over 500,000?
521,000.
I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah. So in total, 834,000 licenses sold. We need that number to be much higher. It's for us to get more money. So, Pennsylvania has 1.5 million deer, and they sell like 800,000 hunting licenses. And we have like 1 million deer, and we sell 300,000. And Pennsylvania gets a lot more federal money than we do. So the money that you get, it's called Pittman-Robertson. The money that you get from federal funds is based on licenses sold. So when you say it's not fair that I have to buy a license because I own 5 acres, well, it helps. You're a number that helps us get more money. So, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pennsylvania has a lot of hunters. Michigan has a lot of hunters. Talk to guys. Anybody out there, anybody watching know a guy named Mike Pelletier from Hardcore Pursuit is a TV show? Anyway, he's a Michigan guy, the UP, Upper Peninsula, Michigan, and he's got a really good TV show. And I talked to him today. Where he's going to come on the show probably in July when things calm down. Yeah, I got a lot of Outdoor Channel, Sportsman's Channel people that are going to come on the show throughout the year.
Yeah.
Kansas is shutting down fall season. Will push more into Missouri, just like Southern Missouri with Arkansas.
Yep.
Yeah. I think Kentucky kills 3,000 birds in the fall?
Maybe I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think it kind of fluctuates between
turkey hunting in the fall is hard.
Yeah, it's certainly a different style of hunting. It's not necessarily what you think turkey, like our normal spring turkey hunting is. It's definitely not that. But
I feel like you kind of got to do it by accident.
It depends. Well, I mean, I'm so focused on deer hunting, it would be an accident because I'm not actively trying to get a turkey. It's just if I happen to see one, which honestly, I think I've killed in my whole hunting life. I think I've taken one fall turkey. I think. Yeah. That's just a guess. I'm pretty sure at least one. I don't think I've gotten another one, but I certainly don't really go for it. I like to hunt them in the spring and I just wait.
I mean, I hear them in the fall all the time. I mean, I won't say all the time, but I've heard them like hunting on public land. I've heard them a lot. 2,000 turkeys. 2,000.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I thought it's usually around that 1,500 to 2,000, and a lot of those are hens typically.
Last year, 2,075. 54% female. So 1,131 were female.
Yep.
So anyway.
Pretty common.
If I see one, I'll shoot it. The thing is, you have to have the right gear. Like if it's – are you laughing at me?
No, you said, I think I'm going to shoot a hen, and I went, I'm just messing with you.
I mean, in the fall, if I see one, I'll shoot it. But, what if I'm rifle hunting, you can't shoot it? You know what I mean? You got to have the correct gear out there.
Right.
And then if you just have a deer hunting broadhead on your arrow, it's hard. You need those big, round turkey broadheads, The
ones the ones with the Bowmars are using. Have you seen their videos recently?
I saw his wife shot one.
Did you see there's one video, you need to go check that out. There's one video they shot with those bigger broadheads, and it hit the turkey right in the face, and it literally sliced half its face off.
Yeah, maybe I saw that. I saw one I was showing Josh where
it was insane.
There was a turkey, and then there was a turkey behind it. And to me, I thought they were aiming for the turkey in the front and missed and hit the turkey in the back. Josh said it was such a perfect shot that he thought it was on purpose, but I mean, the turkey in the front was right there.
Yeah.
He had a very narrow window to kill the one in the back, but he shot it right in the face. That broadhead right in that turkey's face.
It was crazy.
It's the same video, yeah. But no, if you look at turkey hunting broadheads, they're like propellers. They look yeah.
They did a slow mo. There, what I'm talking about is they did a slow motion video of it.
Okay, that's
And
the
it
same one I saw.
was
Yeah, same
literally
one.
like, just like kind of like that, and it just like right through the turkey. I was like, geez.
I like the Bomars. I posted about them when we first started. They got in some trouble, and I posted about them. And they were cleared of all that. And I actually commented on one of his videos that he was talking about it and said, "Hey, thanks for making this video because I really doubted you at first. I'm glad you cleared it up." And he replied and was like, "Hey, just thanks for giving us the chance. We totally understand." So I thought that was cool. I thought it was cool that he clarified everything. I thought it was cool that he replied and said, "Hey, I understand that people doubted us at first." So I really like them though.
Yeah, they seem like nice people.
He's a Stone Cold Killer too.
I'd say, yeah, they both are really.
Yeah, yeah. He will shoot. He will shoot a deer 80 yards. But I've seen him. He's got like Mike. He has like giant like
Targets.
Bigfoot targets.
Yeah, yeah, I know. He shoots a lot.
And he'll shoot it like, all right, left eye, 100 yards, right where he wants it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mark Lilly said, if you got 2,000 acre farm, I wish I had a 2,000 acre farm. I don't know. I'd have to hire somebody to cut it, though. I wouldn't be able to. If you got a 2,000 acre farm and a bait pile for deer, in the far corner of that farm, that whole farm is off limits. Most fall archery turkeys are killed over corn piles. Now, Mark, I think it is 600 feet now. Didn't they change that? 600 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think the whole farm is off limits, Mark. I think it's the 600 feet from that corn pile. You can check me on that. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 600 feet.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not 100. Is there? I don't hunt turkeys in the fall, and I don't even. I don't even think like about shooting a turkey in the fall. Like it just doesn't
Yeah, it
cross
doesn't
my
cross
mind.
my mind. Yeah.
So I don't know. I really don't know. Is there a fall season rule that you cannot shoot a turkey out of bait pile during the fall? I knew that
Oh
obviously
yeah,
you can
you
in the
can.
spring.
And
You
I
can't.
listen. I think Mark's 100% correct. Most of those turkeys in the fall are illegal.
Yeah, more than
They're coming
likely.
right to your corn, and you're like,
Yeah,
"Hey, there's turkey." Bam. I agree with Mark, but I think it's 600 feet, Mark. I'm going to look right now. I may not be able to find it this quickly,
yeah,
and I may be wrong too. But I know there's a rule about 600 feet from a bait pile, and they wanted to change it to say, well, what if the neighboring property is just 300 feet? And some of the commissioners said, well, it needs to extend 300 more feet. And they're like, well, that's not fair. The property should be the boundary,
yeah.
which I agreed with. I
That's what.
remember that discussion, but I have to double check. Mark, I will
Yeah,
look. I'm not going to do it right now because it'll take me a while, but I'll double check on that. And you do
yeah.
that.
That's good. That's something good to double check for sure. I'd love to know that myself. Like I said, I don't even. I wouldn't even if a turkey came up. I had a turkey underneath me last fall, and I didn't even think twice. Fact is, a coyote came in and was starting to hunt it, and I jumped up and spooked the coyote. It was kind of too far to shoot with a bow,
Yeah.
but the coyote saw the turkey, and the turkey was right below me.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh crap! That coyote's starting to hunt here. I'm gonna bust this hunt up."
Will
But
you go ahead? I'm sorry, I interrupted.
no,
Go ahead.
no, that's all right. I was just gonna say I don't even think twice about shooting a turkey in the fall. I don't even consider it. So it's just one of those things. I don't really look at those rules closely as far as the baiting and things because I don't bait a whole lot. We bait a little bit, just for deer pictures and camera pictures and stuff. But
Yeah.
um,
You better start baiting all your friends are gonna take all your deer. If you don't, all your neighbors taking those deer if you don't start baiting.
well, we do food plots and stuff, just not heavy, consistent feeding or anything like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say something. I forgot. I should have interrupted you.
No, you're good.
Trying to find this. Oh, when you go hunting, if you see a cow, are you automatically shooting it, or are you just trying to get it away?
I'll typically take a shot if I have an opportunity for sure. Yeah. Two or three springs ago, I had one come up on a decoy and I shot it right in the face. I never found the coyote, but I boogered him up. I guarantee.
Gordy says, "How would you know if their bait piles are if they're not on your property?" Well, that's why you don't ask questions, bro. You just don't ask questions. You don't what you don't know. You know. Here's the thing. I've talked to biologists. This is a big thing with bear season because if you know where a bait pile is, and you kill a bear that's headed that direction, technically you're illegal. So you just don't ask.
Yeah.
Because guess what? During bear season, the biologists know that there's corn on every single ridge. And what they tell you, you need to hunt somewhere where you don't have knowledge of it, right? If it's on public land, they shouldn't be feeding anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Hunt somewhere where you know there's no bait pile. And if you kill a bear that just came from corn and you don't know about it, you're good. People really overthink that. The biologist, now I don't know about turkey biologists, um, or correction officers, whatever. But I'm telling you, the guys with the bears, the guys that are working the bears, they're not trying to catch you. The technicians and stuff, they're not trying to catch you unless you're blatantly cheating. I'm going to assume it's the same with every animal.
I would think so. I mean, I would think they would treat everything like, I mean, obviously, if they find it and they're
Yeah.
investigating and things of that nature, that's a totally different thing. But if you're hunting your property, I mean, I guess you would probably, in theory, you would know what your neighbors do, but not always. You know, if you're
Right.
doing your thing and they're doing their thing, and you don't ever walk on their property, you don't talk to them, or you probably don't have any knowledge of what exactly they're doing. Now, if you shoot the bull with them every once in a while, and you know, or you run into each other at the tractor supply down the road and pick up.
No, don't go to Tractor Supply. We're boycotting Tractor Supply.
Where am I hearing that?
Well,
Is
so
this
I
something
don't know.
new?
Well, listen what happened. So I don't know. Listen, guys, if you wanted to hop off here, we're rambling now. You're not gonna hurt our feelings. But this is a good story, and I'm asking you to boycott Tractor Supply. And tell them why. Because if I have a buddy, he's a buddy, he's like a Facebook friend, right? Like a lot of you are. I've never met him in person. He's a Kentuckian, he's a country guy, he's from Manchester. He does a lot of content. His name's Tate, and he has a TikTok video fishing with Tate. All right. He was at Tractor Supply drinking Bud Light. That's not true. But he has a TikTok channel called Fishing with Tate. It's got like 500,000 followers. He works for the Guggen Squad. He creates content for all kinds of big companies. So he's always online. And he's really blown up here lately because of his chickens and taking care of his chickens. And he did a lot of trapping. I sent you some of his videos.
Yeah.
Did a lot of trapping. Well, he spends a ton of money at Tractor Supply. So he goes to Tractor Supply in London, Kentucky. So he was at Kohl's in London, Kentucky, which is almost a mile away from Tractor Supply, and across the highway, across the bypass, and there was a Tractor Supply shopping cart at Kohl's. So he took it home. He took the shopping cart home. And his plan was to make a video. So he does all kinds of videos of like we're going to rescue a chicken today. We're going to the creek for magnet fishing and rescue. We'll see what's in there. So his plan was to take the cart back, make a video of them returning the cart to Tractor Supply because he has so many videos from Tractor Supply. He was going to Tractor Supply yesterday. He was buying a $2,000 chicken coop and chicken supplies. And they kicked him out and banned him from that store because of the shopping cart. And he said, and he's like, you guys know me. Like I spend more money than probably anybody in here. And he was going to spend $2,000 and Tractor Supply kicked him out and won't let him back. It has blown up on TikTok. People who have gone to Tractor Supply page and like mentioned it, Tractor Supply is blocking them. So go to Rural King. Go to Rural King.
But he returned. But he
hasn't yet. So what happened was he was filming a video of him returning the car. He was going to film it. He found an old bathtub for free. That's the one I see sitting beside 192. Yeah, Rodney, it's the London Tractor Supply. They banned Tate. Go to TikTok, fishing with Tate. We're boycotting Tractor Supply. We're going to Rural King or Lowe's or wherever. But so Tate makes dumb videos. No, Mark, he was the shopping cart was a mile from the store. Someone else had stolen it. His plan was to return it. So what happened was he took an old bathtub and he attached PVC pipes to it, and he made it into a little boat for his pond. Well, he fell out of it in the pond, and his phone fell in the bottom of that pond. He can't find his phone. And it had the videos that they were recording of them taking the cart back. And Rodney says the shopping cart is sitting there now beside a 192, I guess. Anyway, it's been a big deal. It's funny, but hey, Tractor Supply is overpriced anyway. Real King is much better. Real King carries DPs and footholds. That's true. They're all sold out of DPs when I go.
Yep. I wish a Rural King would come up here by me, man. All I've got is Tractor Supplies up here, so I'm kind of screwed in that sense. I'd have to drive to Georgetown to go Rural King.
It's a good Rural King.
Yeah,
Mark,
it is.
do not take the side of the corporate world, Mark. We're taking the side of the little man. Well, Mark, it is fishes in the bottom of the pond, and you can see that video on his TikTok. It's funny. He fell out of the back of the boat. That's
a bizarre story, man. That is a really bizarre.
Well, he got kicked out, and the guy's like, "Sir, you need to leave." And he's like, "Are you serious?" He started filming. He's like, "Guys, they're kicking me out of. They're banning me from Tractor Supply. I spend thousands of dollars over here." Then he went live on the way home and was talking about it, and people were just fired up. It's just not right. It's just not right. I think what really got him in trouble is he bought an incubator from there, and it didn't work. It did not warm the eggs at all, and he took it back, and they put it up for sale the next day, and he's like, I told them this didn't work, and they're trying to sell it. And that video got like millions of views.
Oh.
And I think they got mad over that. So I would believe Mike. John, a little iffy. Hey, Alan, I don't care.
Come on, that's a bizarre story, man. It's kind of funny. It's a funny one.
And I was just joking about boycotting. If I need something Tractor Supply, I'll go get it. But
yeah,
reporting criminals now. Mark, hey Mark, you're the one that said you threw out a pile of corn earlier. Let's see, where's that at? I threw out a pile of corn, and the deer ate it all. That's what he said. That's what he said. Maybe he misspoke. But
I can't wait to talk about this on the show. Actually, it's a totally different topic, and maybe it's just a setup. But how's it going to affect everybody, and how's everybody going to kind of work their trail cameras this year for deer, specifically during the summer when we can't bait and put things in front of them?
Minerals.
Other than that,
now Mark has a good. Mark said he was planning a food plot, and he was returning a cart. Mark, he was returning a cart. Mark has a great point. People need to check minerals because some of the minerals have ingredients that aren't allowed.
Oh yeah. Some of them definitely do.
Check.
The grains and stuff you got to pay very close attention. This is a whole different. I know we're running late and stuff, but it's been fun to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean,
turkey season's over. We're switching to deer season. Who wants to talk about deer next week? I do. Let's forget about turkeys. Let's talk deer. My God.
Well, I mean, we do have some different things to talk about. Specifically this topic. I mean, I know we're seeing some things come in. Gordy said deer trails. Obviously, yeah, definitely, and Alan said watering holes and things. It's summertime, definitely.
Next week, I'm hoping that somebody that's on this show every week gets drawn for an elk tag. I get to announce their name. And we can talk about it next week. If that's you, you're coming on the show next week.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. We need to have somebody drawn on the show next week. That's what we're going to do. And you know what? I'm not going to say that.
I want to see.
The data is embargoed. I don't get to tell all the information that I'm going to have. It's embargoed. So
I want you to get the S's, and I want you to draw yourself. I want that to happen.
What I'm going to do is it's going to show up on the screen. And I already have, like my brother said, what if this person or that person who, like, we've had a block from the show, what if their name pops up? And I said, I'm just going to mispronounce their name.
You're going to read over
Michelle or something. Yeah, I'm just going to mispronounce their name. And I promise you, I will mispronounce their name. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe I'm not a good reader. But if someone that's been a jerk to us on this show, and I'm saying jerk because this is a family show, and I've had to block you from this page, I'm mispronouncing your name if it's on there. I can't take it out, but I'm mispronouncing it. Just, put your camera on a stump sprout. Ooh, look at there. See, this is why we need Kyle to be. Kyle, we need you to be a regular on the show, not just in the comments.
He said he would. I asked him about it.
Well, I asked him if he could be like a resident deer expert. So maybe do some riding, or maybe just give me the info if he don't want to ride.
Dude, that's awesome. Thank you, Kyle.
Basically,
Appreciate
cut
that.
just about any tree that's 8-inch in what? DBH? What is it? I don't know. Mike, help me. What's DBH?
Scientific.
DB 8-inch. I want to say something diameter.
Yeah.
What's the BH? Help me out. Or larger. The new foliage is high quality forage.
It is.
That's a great idea. Yeah, but DBH diameter? What's the BH?
We don't need to know that. Just diameter.
I typed it in and it says Department of. Here's what I got. I typed in DBH. I got two things, Mike. You want to hear them?
Kyle said diameter at breast height.
That's exactly what I got. Diameter at breast height. I thought it was something. I was laughing at that, but I see that now. Huh? Okay. I thought it was talking about something else. I don't know. Something medical.
So like if it's just like, up here.
Yeah.
Or the deer's
I saw that and I was going to make a joke about it because I thought it was like a medical term, like diameter at breast height, like something, I'm just immature.
That's a good.
I am like Kevin James. Some bucks won't go to corn or mineral, but will always go to water. Here's the thing. People say, I think I saw Rodney say about hunting water early, and that's definitely true. Only problem is Kentucky has so much dang water. Like there's water everywhere. It's not like you say, oh, this watering hole has it. Like I know guys that killed deer at Rich WMA at some water sources that were farther away. But man, a lot of them, there's just water all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's something we typically don't have to even consider when we're at my uncle's because he's got a huge creek that snakes all the way through it. Right. And the creek always has water in it. So it's just one of those things where we've always got water running through, and it's
and if you have a trail going down to the creek, then there you go.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen. Next week we're going to have somebody on from the elk draw. There's 594 names. I promise you, we can find somebody to do it. Heck, they will be there at the elk. Some of them will be there. There's going to be people there drawn in person in live. That's going to be so fun. For you guys. Number one, if you're going to be at the Kentucky, what's it called? Kentucky Elk and Outdoor Fest this Saturday, I will be there. Mike, they're wanting me to go set up on Friday.
Oh,
I really don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But I might. But I will be there, and I will probably go live about 10 o'clock when they start drawing prizes.
Cool.
Mike's going to get there about 12 noon. I'm going to go on stage sometime after 1 o'clock. I don't know when.
Yeah.
So, and I really hope that the only person I hope that everybody on here, I hope at least somebody gets drawn. That's the best way to say it. I hope somebody gets drawn except Mark Lilly because he's already been drawn. And if he gets drawn, then there's a conspiracy on our hands. Mark, I hope you're there. Mark, if you're there, and you're there before. Listen, if you're there, then you can take the little mic and put it on and just jump on the show for a little while and talk to us.
Right? No, Mark would be a great guy to have on.
Mark would be excellent. Mark would be excellent. So, love that. But if you don't jump on the show or see us, I hope I draw your name. I really do. The only person I want to see drawn more is me. Other than that, let's do it. Kyle was drawn back in 2012, Cal Archery. Kyle, I hope you're drawn on Saturday, and I hope it's a archery either sex, and I get to say your name. That would be fun. And hey, I'd love to go on the hunt with you. That'd be good too, because I know Kyle's going to DIY it. I mean,
absolutely.
Come on. Mark says I'm not shy. I'm shy. I'm not a talker. That's BS, Mark. Come on. Mark, how did your son do in the tournament? I saw him holding a big fish. How did he do? I meant to text you. I meant to message you on Facebook. And then we'll get off here. I want to know. Mike, what's the first thing you'll do if you get drawn on Saturday?
Oh gosh.
Ask Stephanie if you can go.
Like,
Just
do we have
kidding.
the money to do this? Because
Just
I need to
kidding.
do it now. Like, I gotta call somebody and get this set up. Like, I gotta figure it out. So yeah.
So, if you get drawn, are you 100% going with a guide or are you DIYing it? Because
You know,
here's the thing. I mean, we're connected with Hurley. Like, we're
yeah,
friends. Like, Hurley's not a guy to us, he's a friend.
yeah, absolutely.
So, he's going to help. Now, is he going to say, hey, I'm charging you this fee before I can help?
I
Or
wouldn't.
is he going to
Yeah,
say, hey, I'm going to give you some guidance and you go try it. And if you're not successful, then we'll talk about me guiding you. That's
sure.
kind of what approach I would take. What would you do? Would you just
That's probably
hire him?
that's probably what I would do. But I mean, this is kind of once in a lifetime. So it's like it's a big decision. It's a
Yeah.
if you have, I know nothing about elk hunting. Nothing. I've never been. Don't know what I'm talking about. Don't know what I'm looking for. Don't know how to call. So honestly, I would probably just do my very best to hire and do what I had to do, or just if it was a case where get some advice or pay for advice and then pay or whatever I had to do. I don't even know the process, but
Yeah.
is I would do what I needed to do, and if I could go somewhere and try it myself for a minute and it didn't work out, I would certainly get some help.
I'm just Mike, it kind of sounds like you're answering in a way where you don't offend anyone.
To be honest with you, I'd probably get a guide because I don't, like I said, I don't know anything about elk hunting. So,
See, Kyle said, give him a shout if you get drawn. We listen, and yes, somebody said, "Are you guys on this late?" This is not a dream. We are. 10:22. Mike got on late, and I'm just like to talk. We have many friends who will be willing to give us some tips and tricks along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate
Guys like
that too.
Kyle, guys like Hurley. We got many more that I won't even name that I know would be helpful.
They're
not going to say, hey, they're not going to call you and say, hey, I got a bull down here.
No,
he's all yours. But they're going to be helpful. So
Mark
says, all depends on the unit you draw, who you use. But Hurley is definitely who you want to check first. The thing about Hurley is he's got the process down. Like he takes like $300 or $400, and he will tell you where you need to put in for your draw, like what unit you need to put in for, what you need to do. He takes into account what kind of hunter you are, what kind of experience you have. If you want to follow with a guide or just pay him that fee for his advice,
sure.
He does that for anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he does charge a fee, and if you guide with him, that fee goes towards your guide. But he can't just do that for free, especially when you kill as many bucks or as many bulls as he does. So anyway, Mark says he can help. See, we got all kinds of resources. So I really hope that you, my brother, John Allen, or me get drawn. Because if one of the four of us do, we have to all four go.
Party time.
We all have to go. And we're going hunting together.
For sure.
And we're all it's all of our hunt. Just one of us is pulling the trigger, but all of us are hunting. We're gonna do that again. So
yep, absolutely, man.
If either of you kill an elk, will you mail me a big steak? Here's what we'll do. We will have deer camp, and I will cook the steak. You just come join us. That's what we'll do.
Yep.
You'll have one at deer camp. So anyway, it is 10:24, and I do have a little work I need to do for tomorrow. Closing on a house tomorrow. Not my house, but I sold one.
There you go.
That's good. Congrats. But yeah, man. Elk draw on Saturday. We're going to talk about it on Tuesday. We're going to start preparing for deer season, get out some minerals. I just want to see a nice velvet buck that's growing some sprouts, man. Like I've not seen that yet. I need to see it. So anyway, we appreciate. Hey, if you've been here since 9 o'clock, you're a true one. You're
absolutely.
So we appreciate you guys. Check us out Thursday, Bass Fishing Live. Our views were horrible last week. Probably the worst live show we've ever done. So we need to do better. But we appreciate you. So hit someone up with private land in Eastern Kentucky. That's all. There's it.
Yes, sir.
We know some places, don't we, Mike? We've seen some elk. We've seen some elk before.
Yeah.
So we'll figure it out. All right. Appreciate you guys. Check us out Thursday, Bass Fishing Live, and hope to see you Saturday at the Elk Draw.
Yeah, definitely. Hope I see some folks, and I'd love to meet you and just sit down and chat for a while.
I'm buying 2 tickets. I hope they win.
Cross
See
the
you guys
fingers.
next week, or see you guys next time Thursday.